week's news. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Here's what we are tracking. Isolated storms possible for this evening. More showers on the map than storms, but some of those certainly possible. Spotty showers possible for tomorrow morning. That's a little bit of an adjustment there. I know today we started off dry, but in the morning can't rule out some rain, so you'll certainly want to check in with Mickey early in the day. Tracking Tropical Storm Brett. We'll have updates on that system as well in our First Alert weather headlines. And next big thing that we have coming up, and one of the big things right now, well, some of this wet weather on radar. Let's take you over to First Alert AccuTrack, show you what's happening in the rain and thunderstorms. You can see scattered across East Alabama at this time. We've been dealing with these storms moving north to south, and the storms will continue to track in that direction back in towards Clay County. That was a strong storm that we had a few moments ago that moved through Ashland. You can see pressing to the south there in northern Tallapoosa County. Wet weather's been very spotty, though. Further west you go, we've seen a lot of the rain here to the east, and it's interesting. You look at the temperatures, 70s back in here across the East Alabama, low 90s in far western parts of the state. But the lightning, it is intense right now. For anybody in northern Tallapoosa County, if you have friends or family or anybody in your social circle that you're in contact with that's outside right now, want to make sure they're indoors at this time with this lightning like this. That cloud to ground lightning, so dangerous this time of the year because you get into so many situations, the sun's shining and sometimes you can't see the lightning, but you hear the thunder, and that's telling us that it is definitely there. Storms now moving south. This is I guess round 3 actually of storms that we've had so far today, pushing down through Etowah County, Cherokee County. This is Weiss Lake in here, beautiful part of the state, and back in here towards Gadsden. All this moving south. Jacksonville, get ready. First alert, those storms pushing in your direction, crossing Highway 278. But again, back to the west, the activity very isolated. Not a lot around St. Clair County. A few showers moving south through Coleman. We are seeing some pop-ups. Actually, looks like a little storm right there. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan on the radar here, zooming us into Tuscaloosa at this time. A little pop-up right around Holt. So out here on the Warrior River, around Lake Nickel and back in towards the Holt area, we have a storm. 6:32 by 7 o'clock. This could be approaching Coaling by 7 o'clock. So a first alert on this storm as it tracks. Actually, it looks like a storm out ahead of this popping up closer to Coaling, but out here around Keens Mill Road, just make sure you're monitoring for those lightning alerts. And the same around Caffey Junction. That's there in northern Bibb County. So we have seen that increase. This is what we talked about yesterday happening across parts of the area. We have a disturbance, an upper level disturbance that's spinning across the state, and I think what's going to happen here, that's going to keep those rain chances going through this evening. So that's why late tonight, 9-10 o'clock, you check in with us. We're probably going to have a little bit of rain to track out there, and again tomorrow morning may want to factor in a little extra drive time for some morning pop-up showers and storms. But we'll have the full forecast coming up right here on Weather Extra. Updates, of course, on Tropical Storm Brett, where we're seeing some extreme summer heat, and this story that we continue to follow about the submersible, the search that's happening there around the site of the sunken Titanic. We'll have that coming up and more on the storm damage from all the active weather that's been impacting not only here but down along the Gulf Coast as we continue on Weather Extra.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day, Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama, always on your side.
The first alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We've been stuck in quite the stormy weather pattern lately, and with that has certainly come some dousing rainfall, not just here across central Alabama, but across a lot of the Gulf Coast. We check in now with meteorologist Matt Daniel and Mickey Ferguson for an update.
So Mickey, tomorrow is the first day of summer, so maybe go to the beach. Why not, right?
I don't know about that.
Why?
Looks a little, you know, they've had a lot of rainfall lately, and they're still getting some scattered showers. This is just a tremendous amount of rain that they've seen over the past 5 days. Almost a foot of rainfall, Matt.
Yeah, that's incredible. And some of these rainfall totals may have only occurred within 6 to 12 hours. In fact, we had some flash flood emergencies several days ago in around the Pensacola area. But look at that, Gulf Shores to Mobile, 6 inches to almost a foot of rainfall in many spots over the past 5 days. So flooding could be pretty easy to see if we get more rain like that over the next couple of days.
That's a foot and a half, the coastal areas of Pensacola. So downtown Pensacola just was a wash.
Yeah.
So that is crazy, crazy. Now, as far as the next couple of days are concerned, we're still looking at some scattered showers. Nothing to the magnitude of what they saw here over the past 5 days, but that's still just adding to the fray.
Yeah, so if you are going to the beach, just monitor the forecast. You can see our future radar showing those green codes indicating that rain chance. It's not going to be a washout by any means. Off and on showers, generally afternoon, evening, you know the deal. Notice, there you go, a few breaks on Thursday. And what's important to note is all this rain is not associated with anything tropical. I know we're monitoring the Atlantic, but for now, this is nothing tropical, just your standard showers and thunderstorms that will continue pretty much for the rest of this week.
Yeah, that tropical system may be close to Haiti by Sunday morning, so it's a long, long way out. So this is just old-fashioned rain, and over the next 5 days, we could see, and now that's not too impressive that we could see an inch, maybe almost 2 inches, but you add that on to what they've already seen, and that's some saturated ground.
That's right. And what's ridiculous is this is actually nothing compared to what they've seen. So hopefully they can handle that. The heaviest totals hopefully staying to the south and also to the east. But it's also important to note, Mickey, is that if you're going out and about to the beach over the next several days, stay out of the water.
Yeah, we got a rip current threat with a water temperature at 80 degrees and a high rip current threat at that. So yeah, you don't want to be in the water. So like I said, maybe not the best time to go to the beach.
And Fred Hunter also let us know he saw some purple flags near the beaches down there in Alabama, Orange and Gulf Shores. So that means there could be some marine life like jellyfish in around that area. So be careful of that. So a combination of a purple flag and a red flag.
I'm staying out of the water.
Yeah, it's pretty to see and listen to, but yeah, stay out of the water. Just stay safe.
So this is the times those people go to the beach and they rub it in because they're at the beach and you're like, yeah, go ahead.
Right, so there's your storm. But hey, I'd rather be at the beach with some rain.
Yeah.
Not at the beach.
I love the beach. I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, hey, unsettled pattern. Hopefully we'll start to see those rain chances drop a little bit going into the weekend early next week. But overall, not too bad. Temperatures in the 80s, lows in the 70s. That's your beach weather right there.
And take a picture while you're there. Upload it to the First Alert Weather app. We might be able to show it and maybe live vicariously through you at the beach.
Yes, and who knows, you might be some shelf clouds, some lightning. Just be safe if you're out and about.
Thanks, Matt and Mickey. Well, an update on severe weather in West Alabama from Friday night. The National Weather Service says assessment teams found damage consistent with 90 to 95 mile per hour straight line winds in Pickens, Greene, and Tuscaloosa counties. The National Weather Service in Birmingham says the winds damaged some buildings and knocked down hundreds of trees. The Tuscaloosa County EMA says it's helping residents sign up for debris removal, but this has not been declared a disaster, meaning no federal funds are being allocated for relief. Well, Josh Cobb says he found out that this morning his dad's house was damaged by the storm. He says he rushed over this morning to make sure that everyone was okay and to help clean up fallen trees. But when he arrived, family and friends were already on the scene lending a helping hand. Cobb says he saw many other groups doing the same for the homes of other families. Parts of Alabama still cleaning up after storms this weekend. And we have this video in from the Owens Crossroads community.
He heard the hail. He said he got out of bed and his wife had come to the door and seen the trees. There's like 7 rafters broke in the house, so they heard the tree hit. Yeah, and it was a pretty big tree. Dad just said he got up and prayed.
Well, thankfully, no one in the home was hurt during the storm. Well, now on Weather Extra, people in southern Mississippi are cleaning up after a tornado destroyed at least 100 buildings in the town of Moss Point. The tornado left trees blocking roads and communities without power. One woman described the moment the tornado passed over her home.
We got to hollering, me and his wife, we got to hollering because we were scared. Next thing I know, we saw everything flying every which way. The wind was blowing. It sounded like a train. It just came busting through everything. We heard the windows busting out. Then we saw the shingles. Everything went to flying every which way. The roof, it just took the roof slap off.
8 people were even trapped inside a bank during this tornado. Luckily, they're all safe now. But check out this video from the Gulf Coast. Viewer Andy Cornell sent this to our sister station in Mobile. This was yesterday in Baldwin County, but we've been seeing videos like this for several days in that area. And now to the urgent search to find that submersible vessel with 5 people trapped inside and went missing while on a voyage to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. Right now, that submersible vessel has less than 40 hours of oxygen left. The U.S. Coast Guard says so far there's no sign of the lost sub called Titan. A journalist who traveled aboard Titan last year, said the sub has 2 communication systems, text messages and safety pings. Both of those systems stopped working quickly into the mission. One Titanic historian says this is surprising.
It surprises me that they lost communication so early in the dive. It takes about 2 hours to reach the wreck, so whatever happened either on the way down or as soon as they got there.
And the 5 people on board the sub are a pilot, a billionaire British adventurer, 2 members of a Pakistani business family, and a Titanic expert. Coming up next on First Alert Weather Extra, we take a look at the chance for more storms in the forecast for us and an update on Tropical Storm Brett. And I'll take you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
If your bath looks like this or this, you know it's time for a replacement. Hey everybody, Joe here with BJ Worzen, owner of West Shore Home, to talk about how he's making sure you get the best possible value on your shower or bath replacement. BJ.
That's right, Joe. Now more than ever, I want to make sure people are getting the most for their money. And there's a few ways we're doing that. First, we have hundreds of styles and options for your bath remodel, so you can make sure you're getting exactly what you want. Second, as you know, we only use employee installers, never subcontractors. So our crew is going to follow a process to make sure everything is installed properly. And then finally, a few days after the job's done, we're going to give you a call and make sure you're 100% completely satisfied with that experience.
Amazing, because a lot of contractors will show up and the second they're done, the customer's on their own. You're saying West Shore is there every step of the way, even following up after the project's done.
You got that right, and it's all backed by our online reviews. Right now, we have over 26,000 5-star reviews.
That just shows how much you truly care about your customers. Now, how about somebody who needs that shower right now but has been putting it off because of cost? How can you help them?
So we're making bath remodel affordable for almost any budget. For a limited time, you can get your shower or bath remodeled for only $99 a month. And for anyone who's watching this commercial right now, if you call in and mention it, we're going to throw in free installation as well.
You're saying you'll do the entire project from tear out to complete installation for as low as $99 a month.
That's right. Let's take a look at a project. Here's a time-lapse video of one of our installations. You saw there we started in the morning, removed everything down to the studs, and put in a new shower all in the same day. Here's some more. Easy low-step showers, deep soaking tubs, beautiful wall styles, and modern accessories. We can do jobs like these for as low as $99 a month.
BJ, thanks so much. Folks, West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling more affordable than ever. Call now and take advantage of this extended offer. Get your new shower or bath for as low as $99 a month. And you heard BJ, if you call in now, he's going to do free installation on that project as well. Call the experts at West Shore Home now.
All right, welcome back to Weather Extra. First Alert 7-day forecast. Well, we have summer arriving, as Matt and Mickey were talking about tomorrow morning. So after tomorrow, we hit that road of shorter days. But the good news is through early July, sunset time still around 8 o'clock, 8:01. So we get to enjoy those late afternoons and the evening. Scattered thunderstorms Thursday and also into Friday. But notice the chance starts to drop off. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at some drier weather conditions going into the weekend. 90 degrees there on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Perfect summer weekend for being out on the water, out at the lake, by the pool. Just check the app. Afternoon, evening showers could pop up and a few of those thunderstorms happening. On radar right now, we still have some wet weather out there. There are some storms quite strong here across parts of Tallapoosa County moving south. This is the second day in the row here we've had storms in this area. And then also you can see some pop-ups out here near Tuscaloosa moving south. But the wet weather, central western areas, very, very isolated. Further east, more widespread, as you can see in tracking from north to southeast. Watching these storms as well moving in around Ball Play and back in towards Jacksonville. Anniston and Weaver, if you're watching me here, keep a watch on these storms to the north. Some of those could hold together and drop in from the north over the next couple of hours. But next 24 hours tonight by 9, 10 o'clock, still could be some wet weather out there. We still have a disturbance that's going to keep things unsettled, so we don't quite need to make it to the heating of the day tomorrow. We could start out, since that disturbance is nearby, some of these storms and showers materializing early morning, so some of that could be out for the morning drive. So check in for updates, and I'd go ahead and plan for a few extra minutes there for the drive in tomorrow. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, though, depending on how soon that morning wet weather or how widespread it is, that could impact what happens later on in the day. But we're seeing some indications in the data here that we'll see a little bit of wet weather around in the morning. Then we'll break into some sunshine. The atmosphere sort of recharges, and as we get into the 80s temperature-wise, we'll start to see some random pop-ups again later in the day showing up, and that trend will continue through tomorrow evening. So we'll see another peak in those rain chances through supper time tomorrow night. Now we'll take it beyond 24 hours into Thursday. Starting out Thursday, looks like a dry start to the day, a more typical summer setup. Thursday, rain more limited to late afternoon, early evening. So we'll get through most of the day again with some decent breaks out there. If the rain catches you in the morning for any outdoor plans you have, looks like we'll catch some breaks there for Thursday morning. Tropical storm Brett out in the Atlantic looks quite impressive here on the satellite. You can see the view from space showing that central dense overcast really starting to fan out with this. It's got a little outflow. It's a tropical storm, though. Winds of 45 miles per hour. It's moving to the west direction at 18 miles per hour. And typically with a tropical system like this moving at over 10 miles per hour. Many times that limits just how strong these systems become, especially in a short amount of time. Not to say this couldn't become a hurricane, but the way it's moving, as fast as it's moving, the intensity forecast shows it staying a tropical storm as it moves to the west. And just behind Brett, there are some stronger tropical waves that could develop into tropical depressions. We'll keep an eye on those, but those are way out in the Atlantic. But Brett expected to move to the west, so here's the Caribbean, the Windward and Leeward Islands. There's Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Jamaica. So you can see here where this will be by Saturday with respect to Jamaica. If it continues on that track, it may stay south of places like Cozumel and Cancun. If you have a trip planned in that direction, let's keep an eye out, though. There's still some uncertainty. We do have a few models that show a little bit of a turn, although the global data holds more of a westerly course. The bottom line on this is for the weekend, if you're heading down to the Alabama, Florida Gulf Coast for Saturday and Sunday. This will not have an impact on you for the weekend. Through the end of the week, it's going to be moving towards the Caribbean, but it could enter the Caribbean by the weekend, moving west through the end of the week, and that's what we see right now as a tropical storm, so we'll keep you posted on that. Again, a look at the 7-day forecast as we monitor tropical storm Brett. We are monitoring the radar for more scattered thunderstorms. Again, a pretty good coverage out there right now to the east, and then we'll see those rain chances backing off for this weekend. So I got to tell you, Lauren, I posted on my Facebook page, I said tomorrow it is the first day of, here I am over here. I said it is the first day of summer arriving early tomorrow morning, and then that means the days are going to start getting shorter, and I had some of the sad face emojis starting to pop up.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
I love the 8 o'clock, though, sunset time.
I know, that is so nice. I wrote it down today.
And I got to say this, Lauren. Hey, let's don't rush summer, right? I mean, it always seems like we get to July 4th, and then all of a sudden we're talking about football, back to school. Yeah. Hey, summer hasn't even arrived. It arrives tomorrow morning, so we got a long way to go.
We do. We have a long way to go, that's for sure. And I know we've just kind of been down in the doldrums a little bit with this stormy pattern. Very unusual for this time of year, almost more reminiscent of May versus June. But hey, as we look at that rainfall outlook 6 to 10 days from now, looks a little bit more normal for summer. Notice we don't look like we're going to have above average or below average precipitation, more just kind of smack dab where we should be for Alabama as we transition from, as we get into, what month is it? June? Go from June into July. So let's look at beyond the 7-day. Here we are going into the middle of next week. What I want you to notice here, you see this counterclockwise circulation in the mid-level flow of the atmosphere. That is indicating, and I said, did I say counterclockwise? It's clockwise circulation. So that clockwise circulation we're seeing here is indicating a ridge of high pressure is going to be building in along parts of the Gulf Coast. And so when we see that, that could indicate that we could be seeing, one, some quieter weather, but two, the possibility of some hotter weather once we get past the middle part of next week. And it looks like it could be drier as well. So it looks like we could maybe be hot and dry beginning next Wednesday, and that's a pattern that could possibly stay with us until next Friday. Now, we look at maybe that ridge beginning to break down as we go into next weekend, and that would be 4th of July weekend. If you get the extended weekend, first weekend of July, showing the possibility of maybe some scattered showers and storms around. Doesn't look like a washout by any means, but the possibility of that ridge breaking down could bring a few more disturbances back in the forecast as we head into the 4th of July. That Monday and that Tuesday on the 4th, the possibility of some storms around. But this is still well far out. We're going to keep an eye on it. And as of course, Wes said, we're also going to keep an eye on the tropics. These storms are still well away from us, but this time of the year, we have to watch for development in the Gulf of Mexico, which really just hasn't manifested much thus far. But as far as temperatures, like I mentioned, if we get that ridge of high pressure building in across the southern part of the country, that could lead to an above average temperature trend 6 to 10 days from now. So what could that look like? Well, okay, well, I think that's a little extreme. I hope it's extreme. I hope we're just being real extreme with these numbers here. Normally that's the case, but we can at least see a stretch of 90s in the forecast going into the first weekend of July, and then the possibility as well of very warm and muggy mornings. But I mean, it's summer. We kind of expect that. What we don't expect is these globs of thunderstorms coming in and out, these waves of off and on storms. We just want those little summertime pop-ups, right? Which are a little bit more friendly most of the time. But we are talking about the heat possibility for us really cranking up by the middle of next week, but we're not the only ones dealing with the possibility of some summer heat. Tomorrow, as we mentioned, marks the first official day of summer, but parts of the U.S. are already baking under extreme heat. Extreme heat can be dangerous, even deadly, and there are things households can do right now to prepare. Karen Kafa is in Washington with a look.
Triple-digit temperatures putting a strain on power grids this week and adding to the fallout from storms in southeast states. Wednesday marks the official start of summer, but parts of the U.S. have already felt the swelter. And when temperatures soar near or above 100 degrees, heat isn't just an inconvenience, it can be deadly.
Heat stroke is actually when a person can become unconscious, and if they do not get medical attention immediately, they could unfortunately die.
Kimberly McMahon of the National Weather Service says the time to prepare is before temperatures soar.
Making sure that your air conditioning is in proper working order, make sure that you have plenty of water be it bottled water and access to water in case you do have a power outage when there is extreme heat. But you can also look for locations to be your backup plan.
That backup plan in case of a power outage at home, McMahon says, means identifying a cooling center or a public space with air conditioning like a mall or library. And planning is especially key if someone in your household is particularly vulnerable to extreme temperatures.
There are those who are more susceptible to heat, such as children, older adults, those who are working outdoors, those with chronic illnesses or on certain medications.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
And we'll be right back with a final look at your 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go. She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
Need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan will get one final look at that 7-day forecast. Still expecting some off and on scattered thunderstorms tomorrow and Thursday. So a first alert. We're still needing that umbrella just in case you have a thunderstorm overhead. And then rain coverage gradually looks a little lower Friday through Sunday. Right now, Saturday looks like the driest day. So if you have any weekend plans, going to be a great day to do it. Granted, this weekend it's going to be hot. Temperatures in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures will be running hotter than that. And then I expect we'll see another wave of the possibility of strong storms next Monday before we eventually see that quieter pattern as that ridge of high pressure possibly begins to build in and temperatures going up as we wrap up June. But as we wrap up Weather Extra tonight, don't forget to join us on First at 9 for an update on your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. And here on Weather Extra every weeknight at 6:30, I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Tuesday evening.